Hey guys, it's coffee time. And it's a little too hot for me to drink still, so I'm just gonna set it back down. And let's see. So today, so far, it's like almost 2 now. We finally went and signed a lease, and we have a place, yay! And so now we have a week to move in. Definitely gonna have to downsize on my stuff because I have the smallest room out of all of us, which is fine. It's good for me to force myself to get rid of some stuff. But, yeah, so really excited about that. It's a lot of de-stressing. I look kind of like dead behind the eyes today. Do you ever have those days where you like look in the mirror and you're like, it looks like there's nothing going on in my head today? Oh well. I think that this keeps like auto-focusing. Hold on, guys. Yeah, why are you auto-focusing? You shouldn't be doing that. Okay, here we go. We're good now. But yeah, so this weekend I watched Black Swan finally, and it was okay. I was disappointed in it, but I think that I think that's the type of movie where if you don't know anything about it, it's really powerful. And if you do know about it ahead of time, you're sitting around waiting for things to happen, and it's super predictable. So I didn't have as much fun watching it as pretty much everybody else in the universe did. So I'm not a huge fan of that movie, which I'm getting a lot of crap for. Here's the thing, though. Like, that's why I hate spoilers. I hate spoilers so much. And it also, on the flip side, like, I always refuse to spoil people on things. Like, if we're talking about a series or a movie or something, and they're like, yeah, just tell me what happens at the end. And I'm always like, no, what if you watch it? Then I'll have ruined it for you. And they're like, no, I'm probably not going to watch it. And I'm like, but it's good. You should watch it. And I'm not going to spoil it for you. And then they get upset with me. But, I don't know, I feel the same way about it. It's like, if somebody is talking to me about a movie or something, and they're like, yeah, so then, like, sometimes people don't know how to give a good summary of something without spoiling the entire thing for you. I have a couple really close friends like that, where, like, we'll be talking about a movie or something, and they'll be like, yeah, and then at the end, so-and-so dies, and you're like, now I don't need to watch the movie. Thank you for that. And that always drives me nuts, because then I have no desire to watch it after that. If I know what's going to happen, I don't care. But then on the flip side, like, I have so many friends who, with books or with movies, like with books, will read like the last chapter and then start reading the book, or will look up all like everything about a movie before they go see it. And I'm like, why would you do that? I much prefer, if I know nothing about a movie, that's my favorite type of movie to go to, where I am just like, no idea what to expect, don't even know what this is about. Yeah, like at the most, I like to know the genre, so that I know whether or not I'm walking into a rom-com or a horror flick. That's kind of important information, but beyond that, like, I like not knowing much about something so that I can fully, like, experience the storyline. I don't know, but I'm the same way with books, but as I've said before, I don't read, like, novels very often. They're typically really boring to me, so oh, I'm one of those kids. What can you do? What can you do? I don't even have dyslexia to blame it on. Everybody else in my family does, though. I know a lot of dyslexic people, I'm realizing. But yeah, spoilers. I think that translates into video games too, because I have friends who, like, cutscenes. They'll look up the cutscenes for a video game before they play it. Not okay. I totally get if you play a game and you find out that there are multiple endings, but you don't want to have to, like, play through the final boss again or something. I totally get when people look up alternate endings, but they don't want to play to get the alternate ending. Totally get that. It's not a big deal. But I never get the I've never played this game before, but I'm gonna watch the cutscenes. Like, why? I also feel like it's cheating if you can't beat, like, the final boss, and so you just watch the cutscene and never finish playing it. That makes me single tear. Like, no, just beat the game. You just feel so good when you beat the game. If it's a bad game, you shouldn't have played up to the final boss. Unless it was really short. But like in a Final Fantasy game, if I'm not like completely hooked in a Final Fantasy game, like within the first couple of days of playing it, I typically don't keep playing it because I'm like, I know this game is going to go on forever. And I don't want to invest all that time in a game that I don't care about. In that situation, then maybe, yeah, I'd be like, okay, well, let's just find out what happens at the end so that I can just, so I can know. But most of the time, if it's a game that I, like, personally have no desire to play, I don't even care, like, to know how it ends or to know what the storyline winds up being. I feel like if they haven't captured me after, about 10 hours of gameplay, they're not doing their job. They've failed me, so I just kind of move on to the next thing. But yeah. I feel like every time I say something about my personality that's like slightly fickle, there wind up being a lot of comments being like, you're like Ramona Flowers. I'm not all that much like her, I don't think. For one, I can't rollerblade. Well, I can, just not very well. I wish that I could rollerblade better. Maybe I should start doing that more. I don't know. Joe and I were awesome yesterday, and we went to the gym and did the elliptical for an hour. I had only done a half an hour before then, but after a week of doing a half an hour on the elliptical, I was walking away from it without even, like, breaking a sweat. So I was like, I should go for the full hour. And Joe was like, let's do it, because Joe typically goes for an hour, so we rocked it out. And it was great. Loved it. But yeah, had a good weekend in general. And the good beginning of this week, because I have a place to live. So excited. Start moving stuff over there. We have like 7 keys. Because there are 2 front door keys. And then there are 2 side door keys. And then there are, maybe it's only 6. 2 front door keys, 2 side door keys, and 2 gate keys in the back. And we were like, we were looking at all of them going, it's going to be like $30 per person to get keys made. No, probably not. Because it's like, they're typically like $2, right? So like 2 times 6, it's like $12 per person. Not a big deal. Joe and I were like, well, do we really need anything other than front door keys, though? But we should have all of them, because you just know that situation's going to come up where you're like, no, I just need the front door keys. And then you, for whatever reason, need to get in by the side door or need to get into the gate, and you're like, bah! Yes. So, yeah. But that's me and my life and stuff. And hopefully you guys are having a good start to your week, too. And yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.